Look, we can sit here and we can hear Lindsey Graham go on television and say that Donald Trump will do something before North Korea has the capacity to deliver a nuclear weapon via a missile to the United States. Not to prevent it, but to preempt even their capacity. And he's saying that, like, look, if it happens over there, it happens over there. It's not going to happen here. We can't know what's in Trump's mind because, untreated syphilis does strange things. But we can't know what's in Trump's mind, except we can hear what he said, I guess now 15, 16 years ago on Meet the Press. I don't know why it would be relevant, his opinion on that 20 years ago. But he was on a Meet the Press with Tim Russert, and basically Trump is making the exact same argument that we heard Lindsey Graham make.
And the biggest problem, we can talk about the economy, we can talk about Social Security. The biggest problem this world has is nuclear proliferation. And we have a country out there in North Korea, which is sort of wacko, which is not a bunch of dummies, and they are going out and they are developing nuclear weapons. And they're not doing it because they're having fun doing it, they're doing it for a reason. And wouldn't it be good to sit down and really negotiate something, and ideally negotiate? Now, if that negotiation doesn't work, you better solve the problem now than solve it later, Tim. And you know it, and every politician knows it, and nobody wants to talk about it. Jimmy Carter, who I really like, and he went over there, it was so soft. These people are laughing at us.
The former general of the Air Force, Merrill McPeak, the former Secretary of Defense, Les Aspin, said you could not launch a preemptive strike against North Korea because the nuclear fallout could be devastating to the Asian Peninsula.
I'm not talking about us using nuclear weapons. I'm saying that they have areas where they're developing missiles.
No, but taking out their nuclear potential would create a fallout.
Tim, do you know that this country went out and gave them nuclear reactors, free fuel for 10 years? We virtually tried to bribe them into stopping, and they're continuing to do what they're doing, and they're laughing at us. They think we're a bunch of dummies. I'm saying that we have to do something to stop.
But if the military told you, Mr. Trump, we can't do this.
You give me two names. You're giving me two names. I don't know. Do you want to do it in 5 years when they have warheads all over the place, every one of them pointing to New York City, to Washington, and every one of our... Is that when you want to do it? Or do you want to do something now? You better do it now. And if they think you're serious, I deal with lots of people. If they think you're serious, they'll negotiate, and it'll never come to that.
And he is,
and
heading
he still
down
sounded
this path.
more lucid then.
He did.
Which is what's disturbing. Already crazy, arrogant, unhinged, discounting
same
of
ideas,
advice, but same basic idea and same just
but with a
belligerent.
vocabulary over like 5 or 6 words. It's like he can't grasp this stuff anymore in the same way. But the same dynamic is there. Like, let's preempt him. Now, of course, 17 years later, he was a little bit ahead of the curve as to when they would have ballistic missiles all over the place that could hit New York. But the same theory exists there. Like, let's just take him out. There's no sense of like, wow, the cost. And he also didn't seem to understand the argument that if you were to blow up their facilities where they're developing nuclear warheads, then in fact the fallout would be amazing. And he's saying, I'm not talking about using nukes, but he didn't quite get the idea that like when you blow up nuclear material, the radioactive fallout.
Well, let's use this as a broader teachable moment about wealth not equaling intelligence. Because remember, a couple years ago, Sheldon Adelson was at a forum with Shmuley Batrek. It's one of the most gross groups of humans on stage together. And he was like, basically sitting in it, he's like, what we need to do with Iran is we're going to drop one nuke on them as a warning. And it's going to be in a desert. And no one's going to get hurt. Just going to be in the Iranian desert where no one lives. Maybe a couple animals will be killed, but no people. So, but we're going to show them we mean business. He actually said that.
Yeah.
That's like basically the core driver of the Republicans' Middle East policy. That guy's checking account.
Moab. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos